Hey everyone, it's Danielle Taylor with Keller Williams Realty here on the beautiful Outer Banks. And guess what time it is? It's Stats Day! I am sorry, this is a little tardy because this is the stats courtesy of the Outer Banks Association of Realtors that runs from January 1st through November 30th, 2024. But I want to get this out because in the next couple of weeks, I'm going to be doing my year in review. And so I want you to be up to date, even though this is a little bit late. So anyway, here we go. Let's dive in. Single family unit sales. So how are we doing on sales? Year to date to the end of November, 2024 was flat over 2023. So units have stayed the same. We were down about 2.4% November 24 over November 23, and we're down about 24% November over October. So that's a really interesting statistic, but it's also interesting to me that as we're getting closer to year end, we've come up to the flat situation we were tracking down most of the year prior to that. So that's our unit sales. The second thing that we always talk about is inventory. So how are we doing on inventory? So new listing inventory year to date is up about 21% over 2023. And if you've been following the channel, I don't think that'll be a surprise to you. We have a lot more new listing inventory. 28% of the properties that came on the market in November had already gone under contract or sold with an average days on market of 9. So the good stuff is still getting snapped up fast and it's selling way faster than the average in the market, which we'll talk about in a minute. New listings over October were up about 14.8%, and November over November new listings were up 26.8%. So definitely new inventory continues to come on the market. Pricing, how are we doing on pricing? So the median single family residential sale price for our subset of data, remember this is single family residential homes in all of Dare County and Corolla, including 4-wheel drive. So for that subset, the median sale price was $707,750, and that's up about 6% from year to date 2023. So we're still holding on those prices up about 6%. We've eaten into that because if you remember, we were tracking higher, but prices are still up slightly. Interesting thing though, we just talked about the fact that the median sold price is about $707,000. The median list price for all the properties that are currently under contract is $727,000. So that tells me 727 to 707, and the average home sells at about 97% of list price. That makes sense to me. That means, again, getting the price right is so important because those numbers are very close together. Let me tell you where the problem and the gap is right now. The median list price for active inventory currently sits at $829,000. So therein lies the discrepancy, and that is really why we're seeing the average days on market continue to tick up. We have this subset of inventory that's just not priced in line with where the market feels it should be. In terms of cash buyers, we're sitting at about 28.7% are cash buyers. That's holding steady. It's been pretty much around that range all year. But it is up from 25.6 year to date in 2023. Okay, so a little bit more cash buyers, which again kind of jives with what we're seeing with regards to mortgage rates. So that doesn't surprise me too much. Price reductions. That's what we usually talk about next. So year to date, about 30% of the properties that have sold have had to do at least one price reduction before doing so. Okay, so just under a third. The average price reduction that's happening remains at about 7%. Okay. The properties that are under contract right now, 40% of those have had to do a price reduction, and 50% of the actives have had to do a price reduction, and they're still on the market. So that just goes to show you again, the solds are 30, under contract 40, actives 50. What does this mean for multiple offers? So overall, about just over 16% of solds indicated that they were in a multiple offer situation, and that's down from 22.8% in 2023. Okay, so we are seeing less multiple offers, but it's still happening. Closing cost concessions. So as the market is sort of adjusting and reestablishing itself, year to date, we're seeing almost 50% have some sort of closing cost concession. Okay, so the negotiation, even though the percent of sold to list price is still sitting over 97%, I think where we're really seeing the biggest changes in the negotiation with those closing cost credits. So just something to bear in mind, and that is up from 45.8% in 2023. The last thing we always look at is our days on market. So how long are things taking to sell? So year to date, our average days on market for our sold inventory is 54 versus 49 year to date last year. So up a little bit, not dramatically, but up a little bit. But here's where the big difference is. And when these close, this is going to change the statistic that I just gave you. Our under contract average days on market are 82. And our actives are 109, up from 101 last month. So just some things to think about as you're going in. You know, again, I'll say it as I say every time, get the price right to get the property sold. If you miss the market in terms of pricing, buyers are just not biting. They're just gonna wait you out. So anyway, that is the stats. As always, if you haven't already subscribed, please do so you don't miss an update, and definitely stay tuned in the next couple of weeks for my year in review 2024. And I had another video that I'm doing today that talks a little bit about a potential prediction for 2025. So anyway, I hope you're having a great day, and we'll see you soon.